Okay, so Saturday again. We look forward to Saturdays. And during the week, during my lunch breaks for work, I don't know if you remember, but there used to be a bush. It filled this whole area. Couldn't see anything past out into the backyard. It's definitely opened it up. I just back it up a bit. So now from my back door, I can actually see all the way down through the yard. And it's just inspired me now to try and smarten it up a bit. So today the garden bed that was there, it's been there for 30 years. So I've dug through some cococoya, some compost, some rooster booster, some water crystals. What else? I think that's about all. And now I'm just planting out some plants which are actually, or were in here, are in here. So I'm going to move those because when I put them in there I knew that they were probably going to outgrow this spot because they expand quite rapidly. They're just getting their flowers on, which is probably not the best time to transplant it, but I will do it anyway. So yeah, going to put them along here. I think that'll fill. This corner's always been a bit of a dead spot. It gets a reasonable amount of sun. I think the water situation is a bit dry, so the end of this shed here, just around the other side, there's a gutter that goes nowhere. It just dribbles onto the ground, so I'm gonna go get an elbow and run a pipe down to here so I can like flood this area. Well, not flood it, but keep it moist anyway. So that should sort that out. Yeah, then what I'm going to do, because this is actually bricked in, it's all solid, I'm actually going to turn it into some sort of wicking bed situation. It's actually quite deep, as you can see, about 1/2 metre deep. So it's only narrow, so I might just, rather than a circle, I'm just going to put one line of tube. I just got to figure out how to cap the end off. Probably don't need to. And then yeah, top this up with some good soil. This stuff here is it was potting mix, but it's very loose, very friable, not too bad, but it hasn't got much goodness left in it. So yeah, I'll just give that a birthday, and then probably maybe put some tomatoes and stuff in here, turn this into a garden veggie patch, because this gets good sun. Not at the moment because it's midday, but afternoon sun in summer it gets nice and sunny and warm. Yeah, and then tidy it all up a bit. So that's my plan for today, and if I get this done this afternoon I'll take another shot and show you. Okay, so I've transplanted these, I think they're South African or something, I've lost the tag, don't know. So they're looking good. They fit in there nicely. And I've also emptied out this thing. Had 3 wheelbarrow loads, chock-a-block full of soil. So I've emptied that out now, and as you see, it's not exactly smooth on the inside, it's just bare bricks. So right in the very bottom, I'm going to put a rubber liner like I did with the other one, the pond liner. But before I did that, I've just had this insulation that was in my shed, and the rodents were living in it in winter, so I'm happy to get it out of there. So I've just curved that around the edge in the bottom to make sure that none of the sharp edges from the cement from the bricks cut through the lining. And this I already had in here, that's got a it's one of those weeping hoses. I actually had that laying down the length of the bed, and on the outside here I've got a connector so I could hook a hose up, which I did every now and then in summer. So I'm going to leave that in there. I'm just going to get some of the liner now, and yeah, see, now I have to try and find a piece that's that long, don't I, with no joins in it, or I have to glue it. Alright, we'll see what we got. Okay, well, I've dug around the shed and happened to find this nice long piece of liner. It's all in one length, which is good. I left it out in the sun so it can soften up a bit. What I've realised in here is this is not necessarily level, and although it's a wicking bed, and I guess the sand that's in the bottom is going to get wet all the way along if I don't have it somewhat close to level, then all the water may pool at one end. So I've just out of my dirt pile over there that the chooks are having a great time in, I've just topped up this end a bit underneath that insulation to try and bring it up to level. Okay, as I'm trying to find a way to cap off the end, what I've ended up doing is just grabbing a plant pot, sticking it over the end. I'm going to wrap this whole thing in weed mat anyway, so that'll just hold it on. It'll just stop the, there's a few holes in there, but with the weed mat over it will slow it down. It'll just stop it all gushing, I guess, in one direction. And the process has begun. Covered that end up with sand, run out of sand, so now I've just got to go get a few more bags and finish this off. Okay, so sand is in, straw is in, got my soaker hose laid back on the top again, and now it's time for soil. Now, like I said, the soil that came out of it is very lightweight. It was a potting mix, fairly moist, but I've got some coconut coir. I'm going to mix that in with some water crystals and anything else I can think of to put in it. Rooster booster, a bit of blood and bone, just to give it a bit of a oomph before I put my plants in it. Then we're ready to plant. Alright, done, yeah? I've put in 7 watering cans of water in there, and it's still not quite full. I'll do another couple of runs and fill it up a bit more. Now, last time when I did the barrel, my soil was a little bit dry, so it took a few days, and I actually had to water my plants to give them a bit of a drink because the wicking part of it hadn't worked yet, so like the soil was a bit dry. But this one, because I've used the cocoa coir, which was saturated, I've tossed that through. I've put my hand in there and it's actually quite moist, but because the sun is reasonably strong here, and they've had a bit of a shock with the transplant, I'll probably give them a bit of a manual drink with some sea salt or power feed or something, maybe in a couple of days. So we've got purple Russian, let's put these here just for now, purple Russian tomato, Italian friars capsicum, Riesentraub cherry tomato, long purple eggplant, same again, Riesentraub, this one's a Chinese giant capsicum, and I don't know what that one is. I think it's Tigerella tomato. So anyway, that's it. Looks good, doesn't it? You'd think now that after a bit of a clean up of my junk, it's brewski time, but no. Last time when I did my wicking barrel, I forgot about one important thing. This lot. You, stop scratching my bloody garden up. Nick off. So now I have to walk around and put pavers down. I'll just do that on the bare patches of dirt. It won't stop them from scratching, but it slows them down. And I'll have to do something to cover this over. Okay, well that was easy enough. I've got a couple of lengths of this wire, which is part of the cat park, which is excess. So I just lent that. It's hooked into the frame of the wall behind it. It's just resting on the front edge. And a couple of pot plants in the end to stop them from sneaking in the corner. They might still get through small gaps like this. They're surprising how small a gap they need to get through. Or hop up here, I might have to fill that one in. But anyway, they are somewhat protected. And now it's time to clean up the junk and go and chillax, because my back is friggin' killing me. Everything is looking good. I'm going to have to give you guys a bit of an update. I haven't given you one for ages. So I'll see you when I do that. Say see ya, Georgie. See ya, Georgie.